Ah, there we go. Sorry, I'm a tiny bit late, but well, you know how being royal is, all that stuff to do, etc, etc, etc. But yes, I'm glad you could all accept my invitation and arrive so quickly. Once again, I do apologise for being late, I had to redecorate and such. Yes, hello! Well, there's so many of you. I didn't think that many of you would want to attend. Who do we have? Oh my, there's certainly a lot of you. Yes, everyone, be careful not to get too raucous. But I see Ray, I see... Oh my gosh, there's so many of you. I see Nightshade, I see Gem, I see Vox, I see Wendigo, I see... Slinky, I see Nat, I see Akko, I see... Oh my gosh, there's so many of you. But yes, welcome, welcome. If I just have the band toned down... yes, welcome everybody. I'm so glad you could all attend. But yes, welcome to the Royal Court. We're going to be doing what I believe you people call a question and answer. The Queen thought it well that in my new position as King, we do this little ceremony where you get to know me a bit better. Ask me questions and such, get to know what I'm like. Hello, hello! Wow, so many people. I'm quite flattered. I look amazing, thank you, G. I wasn't so sure about this royal attire at first, but it's kind of grown on me. Yes, so many of you. Goodness me. I look different. Yeah, I do look different. I got cleaned up. I haven't been beaten up in a few months, so it's bound to improve my appearance a little bit. You know what I mean? My crown! Yes, I don't have my crown on me at the moment. It's still being made for me. Thank you, stinky nerds. How is my ice arm? My ice arm's doing quite well. Now, I don't know why it hasn't appeared, but I believe I saw a donation, and that would be from Golden, who says, just checking in on you, how are you doing overall? What have you been up to? Anything fun? I hope so. Take care of yourself, sir. No, King Ellion. Honestly, Golden, I've been doing quite fine. Not really been up to much. Still recovering from the final battle and all. Mainly just relaxing. Getting to hang out with the Queen, should I dare say at this point. But that's what's taken up most of my time. Getting used to royal customs, learning all the formalities and stuff. Being a knight sort of had a kind of education in how to be formal. But let me tell you, being a king is a whole different ballpark. But either way, I've been having fun, so thank you so much, Golden, and I hope you're doing very well as well. But if I could point some attention to you people about the rules of this, the rules are written down below on how this is going to work, and also we have some means of donation. If you wish to donate, you can donate $5 for a voice request from me, where I will say whatever you like within reason and appropriateness. And also, if you wish to have your question answered straight away, a $3 donation will get your question prioritied. However, please don't spam it and let other people in chat have a chance. Oh, now it comes through. I don't know why that was so delayed. Either way, Golden, thank you so much. I do such a great job as King of the North, thank you. I mean, I haven't done too much yet, mainly formalities and getting introduced to people, etc, 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 but I like to think I'm doing well. How is the Queen? The Queen's doing really well. She's also adjusting to her role, much like myself, dare I say. But she's doing really well. I kind of guess it's in her blood. Do you still plan to fight as a general if, God forbid, something bad happened? Yeah, actually, I do. I kind of have this sort of mixed role of King of the North and the General of the Army. Obviously, I leave most of the generaling to the other generals. I'm busy with royal stuff, but If ever the need arose and something bad happened, yeah, I would happily step back into my military position. You like my haircut, thank you. Yes, glad she's doing good, as am I. Yes, bear in mind, folks, there is a little delay when your questions come through, so don't spam them. I will try and get to everyone eventually. What's my favourite food? Well, outside of cinnamon buns being my favourite sweet treat, I would say fish. Fish is my favourite food. Oh, that one came through quicker. We have two, I'm guessing that's Canadian dollars from Kalen Guffro? I hope that's how I say it. What have they asked? Hello, hello. What was your first job as king? Do we bow? You don't have to bow. People in the royal court say you should bow, but personally I don't really mind. And my first job as king? Well, my first job as king was actually learning the formalities, learning who I bow to, who I handshake, how I refer to people by a title, etc, etc, etc. Basically just learning how to be formal. Does the Queen have a nickname for you? Actually, no, not really. She just calls me Ellion. Actually, kind of surprising she doesn't. I don't really have one for her either. Well, actually, I kind of do. When she gets mad, I sometimes call her the Ice Queen. She gets a little bit mad at me for that. Am I fully recovered from my wounds? There's no need to ask that question multiple times. But in terms of, am I fully recovered? Yeah, I'm still a bit stiff and getting used to the new arm, but for the most part, yeah, I am. How's my sister? Yeah, my sister's doing well. She's still in the south with my parents. I did offer that they could move up here with me, but they refused. They have their place down in the south, and I have mine in the north now. I still go and see them, though. Have I been to galas and stuff? Not yet. Bear in mind, the North is still recovering from everything that happened, and we're trying to get the essentials out the way before we splash any of the cash on, you know, galas and balls and any fancy stuff like that. What's your favourite ice cream flavour? Maybe vanilla? I don't know, that's kind of basic. Honestly, being in the north all this time, I've kind of grown attested to the cold. What does your sister do? My sister works with my parents down in the south. She and my parents run a sort of inn/tavern down there. It's really boomed in business once they realised their son is the famous king of the north now. I think they're doing pretty well. But my sister helps man the bar for my parents. What else? Did the Queen meet your parents? Not yet. They haven't been able to make their way up north yet. Has my new arm frozen up on me yet? Not yet. It's been a bit stiff and it's very strange getting used to it, but it's pretty good. Princess did a pretty good job with it. What else has we got? Are you a twin brother? No, I'm not a twin brother. My sister's a little younger than me. Or a little older. I don't remember. What the Queen doing right now? I think she's just doing royal stuff, I think? I'm not too sure. I'm seeing super chats come through, but they're not appearing on the alert box. But I see 2.99 Australian dollars, maybe, from Ray Gon. I also see one from Kendra G, $5.01, asking, your presence is, not asking, just saying, your presence has been very comforting. I suffer from a curse called depression. Can you say something like, you believe that I can do anything? Well, Kendra Gudra? Is that how you say it? Gudral? Forgive me if I say that wrong. I think you can do literally anything so long as you put your mind to it. And I think you have the capability to put your mind to absolutely anything. So yeah, I believe you can do anything. Oh, Tiger with $5, who I also believe is one of our top tier patrons. They just wanted to donate. Speaking of our wonderful... Well, now it comes through. Speaking of the wonderful patrons, I'm actually going to go through some patron questions that was asked by our wonderful patrons. Oh, what's that? It's all coming through at once. There's Kendra's donation finally coming through. Here we are. So these are our questions from our lovely patrons. And I will go through this first before I move on with any other questions if they don't come through Super Chat. So Solaris asked, how are you and the princess, or well, queen, doing these days? Have any plans on what you're doing to help rebuild the kingdom? Well, Solaris, we have plans. Mainly we're going to rebuild infrastructure. We're going to help... Oh, that's Tiger's donation. Nice, nice. We're planning on letting people resettle back in the north. It's mainly just, you know, rebuilding the essentials in our architecture. Farms and stuff like that. Places for people to live. As for me and the Queen, we're doing really well. Oh, Ray gone again with $7.99 asking, sorry I'm donating twice but forgot to add a question. Would you let the Queen put stickers on your ice arm? I think I would, but at the same time, I don't think they'd stick. Oh my. Stinky Nerd with $2 saying, we love you, King Ellion. Hope you're well. Long live the King. Thank you so much, Stinky Nerd. And then, who else do we have? We have Lindsay Starr, also known as Star, on Patreon, asking, have you and the Queen discussed having children someday? If so, have you picked out names? We've only played with the idea. We think we're still going to give it a little while. As for names, I've always liked the name Isaac, if it was a boy. And maybe the name... Mary, if it was a girl. That's what I'd like. As for the Queen, she mostly agrees. She thinks a good girl's name would be Jessica, and she thinks a good boy's name would be Joseph. I kind of like it, but I think my idea is better. Oh gosh, how do I say this? Micaiah on Patreon asks, have you done anything fun with your beloved as a fun date of some kind? For example, baking together or walking in a garden together? We actually do go on walks through the garden together. The castle has a royal garden, you see. And by doing that, we can just go for a really, really nice walk. You know, go see the sights and the snowfall, and it's really pretty. We usually do that as a date, if we're not stealing food from the kitchen. Now, I get it, we are the, you know, king and queen, so we could just take it, but stealing it's more fun. Z asks, are there going to be more adventures between King Ellion and the Queen? Listen, we're just getting the royal stuff out of the way, and once that's out of the way, we will happily maybe sneak out once or twice to go have some fun. M asks, have you and the princess gone and met your family in the south yet? So if so, how did it go? We haven't yet. We've sent letters, of course, and they actually... No, they did come to the coronation, and they did actually meet my wife. I can't believe I forgot about that. It went really well. They find the Queen really sweet, and my wife loves them. My sister, though, she brought a pretty lousy wedding gift. Chess asks, what is it like having an ice arm? Is it weird to have it? Does it break, crack often, or is it pretty strong? Ooh! This is annoying. Oh, are we back? Are we back? That donation was so big it made my PC freeze. But Nix Moon reads with $50, an incredible donation. Thank you so much, Nix. Says, hello there, Your Majesty. It's wonderful to meet you. First of all, you look amazing. Secondly, I have a few questions, but you can only fit one here. So my question is, what are some stories about being king that are completely untrue? As from what I've gathered so far, the whole idea of being really prim and proper isn't necessarily true. There are moments where I can take off time. I don't have to be really snooty and uptight all the time. But at the same time, that's mainly the gist of the main thing that's untrue about it. What are other things? I can eat whatever I want, and not all the food has to be super fancy, so that's a relief. As for the main things, the rest of it's mostly true if I'm being honest. But thank you so much for the donation, that's an insane amount, thank you so much. But M was asking, no, not M, Chess was asking what my ice arm is like. Pebbles. Oh, that might be a good question to mix in with this one. Can you feel your new arm or move it around, or not? So my ice arm is pretty strong. It's actually stronger than a normal arm. It's more considered stone than ice, I'd say. It feels weird. It doesn't feel like my normal arm. It feels cold, but not unpleasantly. It's almost like I can feel my arm breathing in a way from the cold that's coming off of it. I can control how much cold comes off of it, so I don't freeze the queen to death in her sleep. But it's certainly weird. Like, it doesn't feel pain. I once got it slammed in a door by accident, and it does crack now and again, but that's mainly for accidents. And Cassidy Butcher, thank you for subscribing. It does crack now and again, mainly through accidents, but the queen can just fix it. Just like that, and it's fixed. She's good like that. And then the last Patreon question, and then we'll get back to the main people. The Insane One asks, how are you adjusting from the South to the North Kingdom? How's the transition going from being a Knight of the South to the King of the North? Well, the Insane One, it's a pretty big leap, I'll say that. But at the same time, it's a great one. I need to get used to being more formal. I need to get used to being less on guard, should I say. Back when I was a soldier, there really was a lot of, like, you know, prone to being alert, prone to being ready to fight. However, now it's kind of getting a bit more to learning to be more relaxed, actually. And that's the main transition. I'm also getting used to the cold a lot more. I was stationed in the north for months during the war, but hey, I'm living here now, so I really need to get a bit more used to it. But I gotta say, the ice arm actually kind of helps acclimatizing. But that is the end of the lovely Patreon questions that were submitted, at least. Thank you to all the amazing patrons that support the channel. Let's get back to the main questions from the general people. Have you and the Queen ever gotten drunk? No, we haven't. I don't drink, actually. How many kids do you have with the Queen? We don't have any. What royal pets would you get? Now, this is a long shot, but it's mainly because we're in the north. I want a pet polar bear. But the Queen says no. They say they're too wild, but she said maybe one day she'll consider it. But hey, a pet polar bear? That'd be cool. Maybe an Arctic wolf. That'd be cool. Right now, though, we don't have any pets. Do you have your own personal guard? Yes, I do. The Northmen. And it's pretty weird going from a bodyguard to the Queen to the King, who then needs bodyguards. Kind of crazy, huh? How are the people of the North with you? I mean, considering that I saved them from potential damnation at the hands of an undead army, or at least helped, they're pretty grateful. But no, the people of the North, they got a very strong sense of humour, but they're lovely people nonetheless. It's very difficult being a king, you know, having many paperwork and all that stuff, and also I'm sorry for my English, it's not my native language. That's okay, don't worry about it. I don't have much paperwork, if I'm being honest. It's more talking with people in rooms that I've done so far. And it is kind of difficult having to wrap your head around everything you can do and how to do it. But hey, I'm kind of enjoying it. Shade, you have a fun fact for me. What's your fun fact? Has the Queen ever scared you or you scare her, if that makes sense? The Queen has scared me. She scared me when I thought she was going to die during the battle, but, and to be fair, I probably scared her when I use air quotes, died? Question mark? But outside of that, no, we haven't casually scared each other. Did you fall in love with your wife when you first met her, or more later on? Definitely more later on. I'm not a big fan, and I don't believe in this love in first sight sort of thing. But when I first met the Queen, or the maid, as she was called back then, I just thought she was cool. I kind of thought she had a cool vibe, and honestly, I took her to the maid quarters, and I didn't think anything more of it. We just happened to bump into each other by chance. When the Seekers attacked the castle, I just happened to hide in that room. Does the Queen ever tickle you? What's the next question? Has the Queen ever accidentally frozen you at all? No, not frozen me, but back when she was training her powers, she used to freeze things by accident. Mainly the things she was holding and the ground she was standing on. Yeah, we went through a lot of training swords. Does your arm melt? No, my arm doesn't actually melt. What was your family's reaction to the ice arm? Not gonna lie, well, my mum knew I'd lost my arms, or my family knew I'd lost my arm prior to them arriving at the coronation. They were worried, but not gonna lie, they kind of thought it was cool. My sister thought it was amazing. I bet she's been telling her friends all about it. But it was a shock at first, as you can imagine. But eventually, they got used to it. I mean, hey, it's just an arm, but it's just made of ice. What was your parents' reaction when they found out you became king? I think my dad told me my mum literally collapsed in the tavern. So yeah, that probably sums it up. Let's just say they were in shock beyond words. Does your ice arm give you any powers? Well, it's more durable than a regular arm, but super strength, not really. It's definitely strong, and stronger than my normal arm, but I wouldn't say it's anything too special. How do you cuddle your wife with ice arm? I just cuddle her. It's cold, but it's not deathly cold. It's just cold to me, really. Plus, the Queen is, you know, a master of ice sorcery, so the cold doesn't really bother her. Do you possess magic? No, I don't. I don't really want to get into that stuff. Magic is a whole different ballpark. Have you and the Queen think about having kids? Yeah, we've been thinking about it, but we think we're definitely going to give it quite a few more years. What were your thoughts when the Queen wanted to marry you? Not gonna lie, I was pretty flustered, so to say. I nearly fainted myself. Has the Queen ever given you a death stare for doing something? And if so, what did you do? There was, when I started being king, there were these moments where I was like, oh, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do this, etc, etc, etc. I wouldn't adhere to royal protocol because that wasn't my gig. So she would give me a death stare for that, and it's pretty powerful. What else have we got? Has anyone flirted with your wife? No, no one has. The Queen or you? The Queen, obviously. Without the Queen, there wouldn't be me. I'd be dead. That was a very cheery way of saying that. Do all your shirts have one sleeve? No, this is actually just the royal vest. But I do have some shirts with sleeves. But to be honest, there's no real reason for me to have a sleeve on this, actually. I mean, it's just a kind of a normal arm, actually. Now that I think about it. No, it doesn't get the... Oh! Vox Calamity with $4.99 asks... Wow, these donations are really testing my thing. Hiya, Your Highness. Glad you're doing okay. I wanted to ask if you could say, I'll take a cinnamon swirl and eat it. I know what you're referencing. I know what you're referencing. I get ya, I get ya. I'll take a cinnamon swirl and eat it. I hope I got that. I hope you and me tapped minds there. I swear there was a... Super Chat's vanished. I swear Super Chat was just put in. Where did that go? Opinion of cats? I love cats. They are nature's greatest creature, and they are also the perfect example of nature's plot armor. I could have swore there was another Super Chat. Let me just quickly check if my mods have... Oh. Yes, Nessie. Sorry, I did not see that.